How's it going, everyone? I'm Landan with LMR.com. In today's video, we're going to be talking about contour fan installation into a Fox Body Mustang using parts that are currently available on the site. So for those of you that have been around the Fox Mustang hobby, know that a popular budget-friendly cooling upgrade is the addition of contour electric fans. Now, without going into all of the crazy elaborate details, contour fans are going to move a ton of air and are going to appeal to the Fox owner out there who desire more of an OE fit and finish when compared to other electric fan offerings. So this video will cover the basic installation steps of our contour fan assembly and the associated mechanical components. The parts that you will see in this video include our contour fans, our exclusive mounting brackets, and our overflow tank solution. As far as the wiring is concerned, we are going to isolate that portion to another video. That way we can discuss it in a little bit further detail. That way you guys have a little bit better understanding of what's actually going on. For those of you that are interested in knowing a little bit more about the contour fan assembly and our exclusive mounting brackets, well, then feel free to check out the review video. So the car of choice is our 93 LX hatchback. If you followed the channel for a little while now, well, then you probably recognize this car. This is the same car that has our SVE 5-load Cobra style brake conversion, the Vortec V3 supercharger kit, and a host of other premium Fox Body upgrades. So we thought, why not? We need some electric fans as well. So enough of me yapping, let's get the show on the road. To get started, loosen and remove the 4 7/16 bolts that secure the fan assembly to the water pump. Loosen and remove the 2 bolts that secure the fan shroud to the radiator. Remove the overflow hose from the radiator and disconnect the low coolant sensor electrical connection if equipped. Use a long 1/2-inch breakover bar in an 18mm socket to rotate the tensioner to release belt tension so that you can remove the belt from the AC compressor. With belt tension removed, wiggle the fan assembly back and forth while pulling towards the front of the car to remove it from the water pump shaft. The fan and shroud assembly can now be removed from the car. Align the bolt holes in the water pump pulley with the hub on the water pump. Reinstall the previously removed bolts and finger tighten. Rotate the tensioner and reposition the belt. You can now fully tighten the water pump pulley retaining bolts. Now we can place the fan assembly on a workbench. Locate the mounting tabs on both sides of the fan shroud. There are 4 in total and 2 per side. These won't be needed, so you can cut these flush with the side of the shroud. The tool of choice is going to be a pneumatic body saw, but if you don't have one of those, a small hacksaw will do the trick. The last area that needs to be trimmed is the small hook at the top of the fan shroud. Cut this off and then take the time to file or sand down the areas so that they are nice and even. Per the instructions included with our brackets, install the bolts and nuts into their designated locations in the shroud. Each bracket is symmetrical by design, so there isn't a top or bottom orientation. Simply align the bracket with the bolts and install 2 more nuts. Do the same for the other bracket. The pre-installed resistor can be left in place or you can remove it. Before installing the fan assembly so that you can check the drive belt clearance, verify that there are speed nuts in the 2 upper slots in the radiator and clips in the 2 lower slots. You can reuse what's there if it's in decent condition, or you can install the new hardware that comes in your fan bracket kit. At this point, you can test fit the fan assembly. Pretty much all naturally aspirated setups will clear the fans just fine. However, there will be instances where additional clearancing may be required. Because of the Vortec setup on this car, we had to remove the metal cover and file down one of the plastic mounting tabs. Whenever the clearances are good, we can assemble the overflow tank. With the fans on a workbench, take one of the provided L brackets and place it over the lower hole on the driver's side of the contour fan assembly. Install a provided button head Allen bolt through the hole. Thread on the provided locking nut and tighten the hardware enough so that it can still be moved. Position another Allen bolt through the outside hole on the lower L bracket and loosely tighten. Use the provided small straight bracket in our kit and loosely install it onto the overflow tank. Ensure that the overflow tank is even, as well as the bracket, and then mark the fan shroud with a center punch or something that you can visibly see. Drill the marked area to a 1/4 inch using a regular drill bit or a stepped bit as we did. Install the hardware and snug it down. Go ahead and make sure the overflow tank is even with the shroud and then tighten the rest of the hardware. Use the provided heater hose and install it onto the shorter fitting at the bottom of the tank. You can secure this with a small zip tie or a clamp. Now you can install the fan into the car so that you can begin planning on how you want to run the wires for the fan controller. You'll need to route the overflow hose around the lower radiator hose and connect it to the small fitting near the radiator cap. As far as the steps for installing the fans, the brackets, and the overflow tank, well, you're good to go. All right, guys, there's no doubt about it. Our components definitely take the headache out of mounting the fans and the overflow tank. So if this setup is something that you're in the market for, well then, I can assure you this kit is probably gonna knock your socks off. Like I mentioned before, we are going to isolate another video on wiring, so be sure and check that one out as well. As always, for the most current product information, pricing, and the availability on anything you saw in the video, always reference lmr.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great Fox Body content and turn on those notifications. That way you're notified every time we release something new. Until next time, I think you guys know what to do by now. For all things Fox Body Mustang, keep it right here at The Real Enthusiasts, lmr.com.